The grocery store was quiet in that tired, end-of-day way that made every sound feel louder than it should. The soft beep of scanners, the low hum of the freezer aisles, the faint squeak of cartwheels rolling across tile floors that had already been mopped once. Marcus Weed stood in line with only a few items in his basket: milk, bread, eggs, and a small box of cereal clutched tightly by his daughter. 6-year-old Lily held it against her chest like it was something fragile, something precious, the way children do when they've been told no too many times and finally hear yes. Marcus leaned slightly on the cart handle, exhaustion settling into his shoulders. It had been a long day. Most days were. When it was finally their turn, he looked up and froze. The cashier was young, early 20s maybe. Her name tag read Hannah, but Marcus barely registered her name because all he could see were her hands. They were shaking. Not a little tremble, not nerves from a busy shift. Her fingers visibly quivered as she reached for the scanner, missing the barcode once, then twice. She inhaled sharply, steadying herself before trying again. Marcus felt something twist in his chest. He'd seen shaking hands before, on accident victims, on parents who had just lost someone, on people standing at the edge of something they didn't know how to escape. "Hey," he said gently, keeping his voice low. "Are you okay?" Hannah's head snapped up like she'd been caught doing something wrong. She forced a smile so quickly it almost hurt to watch. "Yes, I'm fine, just tired." The lies sat between them, heavy and obvious. She scanned the milk, her hand slipping slightly before she caught it. Her eyes flicked, not toward Marcus, not toward Lily, but toward the glass-walled office at the far end of the store. Marcus noticed. Lily noticed too. "Are you cold?" Lily asked, her voice small and sincere. "My daddy has a jacket." Hannah let out a soft laugh that didn't reach her eyes. "That's sweet of you," she said, "but I'm okay." Marcus wasn't convinced, not even a little. He paid, thanked her, and pushed the cart toward the exit. But halfway there, something made him turn around. Hannah had leaned forward, gripping the counter as if the floor beneath her had shifted. Her shoulders rose and fell in a shaky breath. Then a man stepped out of the office. He was broad, mid-40s, with a face permanently set in irritation. He leaned close to Hannah and said something Marcus couldn't hear, but he saw the effect immediately. Hannah straightened like a soldier being inspected. Her hands shook harder. Marcus stopped walking. That wasn't tiredness. That was fear. He returned to the counter after the next customer left. Lily wandered a few steps away, distracted by a candy display. Marcus lowered his voice. "You keep looking toward that office." Hannah swallowed. "If something's wrong," Hannah continued, "you don't have to pretend with me." Her eyes filled instantly. She blinked hard, shaking her head. "I can't. I really can't." "I'm not asking you to make a scene," Marcus said. "I just want to know you're safe." Her fingers tightened around the counter edge. For a moment, she looked like she might bolt or break. Then she whispered, barely audible, "It's my manager." Marcus's jaw tightened. "What about him?" Her voice cracked. "He won't stop." The words spilled out after that, quiet and rushed, like if she slowed down, she'd lose her nerve. The comments, the way he stood too close, his hand brushing her back when no one was watching. The warnings disguised as jokes. "I told him to stop. The next week, he cut my hours." Marcus felt heat rise behind his eyes. "How long?" asked he. "Almost 6 months. Why haven't you reported him?" Her laugh was hollow. Because I need this job. My rent is late. My mom's sick. And he made it very clear. If I caused trouble, I'd regret it. Marcus glanced at Lily, still humming to herself, unaware of how cruel the world could be. He knew that fear, that trapped feeling. After his wife died, he'd stood in his kitchen at midnight, staring at overdue bills, wondering how close he was to losing everything. He remembered what it felt like to feel small, powerless. "You shouldn't have to carry this alone," he said. Her eyes widened in panic. "Please don't say anything. Please, I can handle it." But Marcus already knew the truth. She wasn't handling it. She was surviving it. "I won't do anything right now," he promised, "but I'm not walking away." He took Lily home, called his sister, and asked her to watch her for a while. Then he went back. The store was quieter, the lights harsher. Hannah was still at the register, smiling through clenched teeth. Marcus waited until the line cleared. "I know you asked me not to," he said softly, "but I can't pretend I didn't hear you." She shook her head. "You don't understand. He'll ruin me." "I understand more than you think," Marcus replied, "and I know the law. What he's doing is wrong." Her breathing quickened. "What if no one believes me?" "Then they'll have to deal with me," he said calmly. "I'll stand with you." Silence stretched between them. Finally, Hannah nodded. They sat in the break room while she called HR, her hands shaking so badly Marcus had to dial the number for her. She told her story, voice breaking, then steadying, then breaking again. Marcus didn't speak. He just stayed. When she finished, the HR representative assured her an investigation would begin immediately. She was told she wouldn't be scheduled until further notice and that retaliation would not be tolerated. When they stepped out, the manager was waiting. "What's going on?" he demanded. Hannah's knees trembled, but she stood taller than she had all night. "I reported you," she said. His face drained of color. Marcus stepped forward, his voice low and dangerous. "You don't get to scare her anymore." The manager said nothing. Later that week, Hannah called Marcus. "They moved me to another location," she said, her voice lighter. "More hours, safer." Marcus smiled. Sometimes courage doesn't roar. Sometimes it sounds like one simple question at a checkout counter. "Are you okay?" And sometimes that's enough to change everything.